The phone rang just as Emily was rocking her sick toddler to sleep, her heart racing with worry about the unpaid hospital bill. She almost let it go to voicemail, until she saw the unknown number flashing again and again. With trembling hands, she answered, and the deep, commanding voice on the other end asked a question that froze her in place. "Is the ultrasound result really yours?" Emily Hart was used to bad days, but this one had pushed her to her breaking point. She worked double shifts as a waitress in a small-town diner, yet no matter how hard she tried, the bills kept piling up. Her 2-year-old son, Noah, had been born with a heart condition, and the hospital visits drained what little she earned. That evening, she sat in the dim light of her apartment, holding Noah close as he slept fitfully. Her stomach ached, not just from skipping dinner to save money, but from the relentless weight of fear. Rent was due in 3 days. The power company had sent a disconnection notice, and she had just received another hospital invoice that made her feel as if she was drowning. When the phone rang, she hesitated. Unknown numbers usually meant debt collectors, but something in her gut made her answer. "Hello," she whispered. There was silence at first, then a deep voice. "This is Alexander Stone. I was told this is the number connected to the ultrasound report I just received. Is it yours?" Emily blinked, stunned. "What? No, there must be some mistake," she stammered, clutching the phone tighter. But the man didn't hang up. Instead, his tone softened. "I'm sorry, I must have the wrong number. But you sound upset. Are you okay?" That one question undid her. No one had asked her that in months. Not her absent parents. Not her overworked boss. No one. And before she knew it, tears were sliding down her cheeks. I'm fine," she lied, but her voice cracked. "Look," Alexander said gently. "I know I'm a stranger, but I can tell you're not fine. Do you need help?" Emily wanted to hang up, to keep her pride intact, but exhaustion broke through her walls. She found herself confessing about Noah, the bills, the hopelessness that kept her awake at night. Alexander listened quietly. He didn't interrupt, didn't judge. When she finished, she felt oddly lighter, as though she'd been carrying a secret weight for too long. "Emily," he said softly, "I don't know why fate put your number in my phone tonight, but I don't believe in coincidences. Can I help you?" Her heart thudded. People didn't just offer help like that, especially not strangers. "I don't want charity," she murmured. "This isn't charity," he replied firmly. "Think of it as paying forward a kindness someone once gave me." Against every instinct, Emily agreed to meet him at a cafe the next day. Part of her feared it was a scam, but something about his voice felt sincere. When she arrived, she nearly turned around. Alexander Stone was not what she expected. He was tall, impeccably dressed, and carried himself with quiet authority. This was not just any man. This was a CEO who probably had meetings in skyscrapers and a car worth more than her entire apartment building. But when he saw her, he didn't look down on her. He smiled, warmly, genuinely, and said, "Thank you for coming." Over coffee, Emily told him more about her struggles, half expecting him to walk away. Instead, he listened with a focus that made her feel seen for the first time in years. Then, to her shock, he offered to cover Noah's next medical procedure, no strings attached. Emily was speechless. "Why?" she asked. Alexander's gaze softened. "Because once, someone saved me when I thought my life was over. And I promised myself I'd do the same for someone else." For the first time in months, Emily felt a flicker of hope. Weeks passed, and with Alexander's help, Noah's surgery was successful. Emily couldn't believe how quickly things began to shift. She picked up extra hours at work, managed to pay off her utility bills, and even started saving small amounts for the first time in years. But Alexander didn't disappear after writing the check. He called to check on Noah, visited them occasionally, and encouraged Emily to dream beyond survival. He introduced her to a nonprofit that offered free online courses, and Emily enrolled in a bookkeeping class. Slowly, she began to change, not just her circumstances, but the way she saw herself. She was no longer just the struggling single mom trying to keep her head above water. She was becoming someone who believed in a future. Months later, Emily graduated from the program and landed a job as a junior accountant at a local firm. When she received her first paycheck, she cried, not because it was a lot, but because it represented dignity. One snowy afternoon, Alexander called with urgency in his voice. "Emily, I don't usually ask for help, but my sister's nonprofit is short-staffed for their holiday drive. Would you come help us distribute gifts to children in need? Emily said yes without hesitation. That night, standing among boxes of toys and food baskets, Emily saw a young mother holding a baby, her face lined with the same fear Emily had once worn. She stepped forward, pressed a small gift into the woman's hand, and whispered, "You're going to get through this. I promise." The woman burst into tears, and Emily held her, realizing in that moment that Alexander's kindness had not just saved her, it had transformed her into someone who could pass it on. Later, as the volunteers gathered, Alexander caught Emily's eye and smiled. "See? You're part of the chain now." Emily nodded, her heart full. For the first time in years, her life wasn't defined by what she had lost, but by what she had gained: hope, connection, and purpose. That night, as she tucked Noah into bed, he whispered, "Mommy, you're smiling again." Emily kissed his forehead and felt tears of gratitude. She wasn't just surviving anymore. She was living and giving. Sparkle's moral of the story: one act of kindness can create a ripple that transforms not just one life, but many, proving that compassion is humanity's most powerful legacy.